So we got the 235 spoilers, and to say this chapter looks insane from the leaks, that would be an understatement, because oh my god, this was something else. Get straight into it. So the last chapter ended with Gojo taking out Agito using his maximum output on blue, and the narrator stated that 41 seconds after that moment, Gojo's hollow purple will once again carve its mark onto the battlefield of Shinjuku. This chapter begins showing us what happens in those 41 seconds as Gojo completely regrows his right hand, presumably with reverse curse technique of course, and Agito gets totally crushed in the background. The narrator explains that Gojo's intensity has increased because of the 2 black flashes, and the king of curses, Ryomen Sukuna, is nervous for the first time in thousands of years. So yeah, even if the last chapter stated that Gojo's RCT output is decreasing, we learn that he's able to heal and regrow his limbs thanks to also being on top of a black flash amp, so I guess that kind of compensates for the reverse curse energy decline. Since he hit 2 black flashes already, he's likely to hit another one, since each black flash landed kind of puts you more in the zone. And Gojo does. He hits his 3rd black flash on Maharaga and then reappears in front of Sukuna, who looks hella nervous. Oh man, it is not looking good for Sukuna right now. Sukuna tries to punch, but Gojo blocks it and throws him towards Maharaga, as we then see hitting his 4th black flash, although Maharaga blocks it from hitting Sukuna, but gets thrown away. Okay, this is insane. Gojo just tied Yuji and Nanami's record for the most consecutive black flashes. He's really in the zone right now, fighting over his maximum potential, and what Gojo tried doing there was super impressive. He tried doing a black flash on both Maharaga and Sukuna, like he was about to hit a combo on them. Of course, Maharaga does block it for Sukuna to evade it, but Gojo then begins the chant for his next attack. Sukuna judges that it might be curse technique reversal red and plans to have Maharaga tank it and make it adapt to red just to be reassured. Instead of firing it at Maharaga, Gojo shoots the red upwards. Sensing that something is wrong, Sukuna screams at Maharaga to act quickly. Man, why did Gege have to draw a panel of Sukuna like this? The memes and jokes are gonna go crazy. Like, why do it now when a couple days ago I just made a video like this? Anyways, Maharaga chases after red, but ahead of it, the blue that crushed Agito was still left. Maharaga is ordered to not let red clash with blue, and it's ordered to demolish blue with its adaptation. Wow, I don't think anyone predicted how this purple was gonna exactly form in 41 seconds. This was likely the type of purple he was mentioning or talking about in chapter 233. Gege is truly unpredictable, so even after Agito was disintegrated, the blue orb still remained, and it's going to clash with the red that Gojo just shot upwards. So Maharaga tries to destroy the blue since it's already adapted to blue, but Gojo appears in front of him and punches him to fall down. Sukuna then tries to stimulate red and make it explode with piercing blood. The leaker says piercing blood, but I think he meant piercing water, or so basically Max Elephant's water in a piercing blood stance, as we saw like 2 chapters ago. Anyways, he tries to stimulate red before it clashes with blue, although Gojo hits Sukuna, but Sukuna tells Gojo, "You're too late," because piercing blood was already launched. Gojo calmly begins a chant which enhances blue in a short period of time, and due to this, Sukuna's attack doesn't affect blue at all. Okay, I know Miyamura says blue, but I think Sukuna was attacking red, since that's what it said earlier, right? And if you look at this panel, it makes it seem like he was going for blue, but then he curved the piercing water to actually launch towards red. I could be wrong. Again, these are just the leaks. It'll be clarified when I make the review. That said, Gojo came in clutch. He really strengthened the orb's health for a split second just when the piercing water made contact, so it doesn't damage the orb at all. As Gojo begins the chant for hollow purple, and we see Yuta back at the base apologizing to Kusakabe that if a hindrance like him was at the battlefield, then Gojo couldn't have pulled this off. So yeah, that goes back to the last chapter when Yuta was worried for his sensei, and so he wanted to join him in the fight, but Kusakabe said that Yuta would only be a hindrance. And yeah, Gojo fights the best when he's alone, or that's when he's in his element, as Kenjaku puts it. Anyways, the blue and red merges as Gojo says, "Hollow technique purple," and this blasts everything in the vicinity. Even Maharaga's wheel gets destroyed in the bottom left panel. panel, this almost reminds me of Yuki's black hole. Obviously it's different, but yeah, as in the aftermath of the blast, a part of Shinjuku is destroyed and Sukuna is ragged and torn apart. He's even missing his left hand. Wow. So 12 chapters before this, Sukuna got hit with a purple. Granted, it was far, but it did get his right hand torn. As now flash forward to 12 chapters after, Sukuna gets hit with a purple again, this time within close range. It also seems like this purple is just different from the normal purple since he actually fuses a separate and already launched blue and red together. And yeah, this time he gets his left hand torn. Obviously, he's more crippled and weakened compared to the first purple in chapter 223. Looks like Gojo is still well and alive, though the purple hit him too, but since it was made up from his own cursed energy, it didn't affect it much. Kusakabe points out that Sukuna now, without Maharaga anymore, on top of his slow healing, he won't be able to use domain amplification. So, the chapter ends with Gojo winning the battle of the strongest. Okay, so I'll just say this right off the bat. I'm not sure if we're on the same page, but I don't think Sukuna is dying here in the next chapter. I feel like the way this is set up and the way the previous chapters especially have been going, it's really Gojo taking the W's. Like, even if Gojo was put under pressure by obviously doing 3v1s and whatnot, he reversed the fate of the battle by somehow making it to where Sukuna made it to where he was the one under pressure despite having numbers on his side. But we gotta remember, considering there was a mention of Sukuna having a trump card in the last chapter, not confirmed but like heavily implied, and considering there's been a trend of, well, Gojo being on the upper hand for the last 5-10 chapters, we could see, you know, that shonen trend where the opposing fighter makes a comeback. So Sukuna maybe makes a comeback either using his trump card or using something else, or maybe this really is the end of Gojo versus Sukuna, but still, I don't think he'll die. This could still end the battle in terms of maybe Kenjaku does something, maybe Uraume does something. It would just feel too soon for Sukuna to die right now, and I'm sure most of you guys agree, right? Like, it's not an unpopular opinion, as at the end of the day, I do prefer Yuji getting the finishing blow on Sukuna in the future, but hey, my expectations and predictions aside, this was a crazy climax chapter. Once the full translations come out, I'll go more in depth with the review sometime this week. I know I didn't make a review last week for the other chapter. My bad, it was actually one of my family members' birthday, but I promise this week there will be a chapter review. Also, Jujutsu Kaisen will be going on a 2-week break. Honestly, Gege deserves it because I think he's been going at it for 5 or 4 chapters without a break. So 2 weeks is definitely deserved considering the heat these chapters have been. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below on what you guys think about the spoilers. As with all that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.